apparently fled to the Polish border on foot.
Sean Penn did? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, deuces. Anyway.
What is he doing over there? Was he there for something else? That's weird.
Apparently, he was. All right. I was going to make a joke about allegations against him, but that's probably not the best way to start the show.
Well, maybe him and Madonna had a plan. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If only he could be as brave in violence against the Russian invaders as he was against Madonna. Then,
oh, nice.
That's not the
nice. No, I know it. It has, it has undertones of domestic violence, but I understand. Where you're coming from.
Anyway, okay, there we go.
All right, here we go. Here's the show. It's coming now.
That was the show.
That was
now
all.
Now we're ready for the show.
Yeah, now this is the show. So sit back, relax, enjoy, because it begins in 3, 2, 1.
Are you tired of taking your dog for a walk and picking up after their mess? Are you tired of using grocery bags or products that are heavy and not useful? It can get very messy when your pet goes in the house or on the sidewalk or even your neighbor's lawn. We have the answer for you. Introducing Poo Trap.
Hi, I'm Margaret. I know what cats are thinking.
The Morning Stream. You're soaking in it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for March 1st, 2022. Brand new month. Hello, brand new month. Joining us today as co-host, I'm Scott, by the way, is Justin Robert Young. What?
Yeah.
What?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, son.
We're
back.
Yeah, he's back. All those rumors of your demise were...
Yeah. A lot of people thought I was dead.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought. Many people are saying, Scott, that Justin Robert Young is dead. And I'm here to say nay.
Nay. No, not only are you not dead, you're so alive that your hair has grown a lot since I saw you last. You have a lot of hair now.
It has. My hair is a curious beast, Scott, because it really, it mostly grows in the mullet region. So for what looks like growth on the sides of my head, I effectively now have like hippie long hair, but it's literally totally blocked by I turn my head sideways.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that.
But it is a real majestic waterfall of hair in the back of my head. My wife hates it. She's very, very upset that I won't get it cut. And at this point, I'm doing it despite her.
Oh, all right. Well, nothing like a good spite hair resistance.
A little spite haircut.
Yeah, don't do it. I say stick to your guns. Mine just continues to turn more gray and also not grow very fast. So that's a new phase I'm in my life, and that's fine.
Is this the first time that you've had that you're like, oh, so no more reserves, huh? Like this is the first time
it's starting to feel that way. Yeah, like my wife keeps telling me I need to eat these gummies that have like whatever the like basis of hair and nail growth is. I forgot what it's called. It's some,
I think I know it's keratin.
Might be. I don't know. They're these gummies. She wants me to take them. I'm like,
are you not on the Hims or the Keeps or anything like that? I mean,
no.
They have to have advertised. You can get promo, right?
I'm definitely not like balding, but I'm not. It used to be I'd go like 2 weeks and a haircut was mandatory.
Yeah.
Now I can go almost a month, and then I'm like,
if
okay.
You wanted to keep that that fresh Eisenhower cut that you've been rocking.
That I've been rocking for so long. Yeah.
Yeah. Since Eisenhower. In fact, he handed it off to you.
Well, I've been around that long, but it feels like it some days. But anyway, it's very nice to have you, by the way. And
it is a joy. Very, very excited since Brian is on a well-deserved vacation, and I saw a clip of you saying like, "Oh, Justin would never do it. He's too busy."
Yeah.
And I immediately hit you up and said, "You better knock it off." Of course, I can co-host the show, mostly because I have to promote the fact that World's Greatest Con Season 2 is available now. Get it in all your podcatcher feeds. We're only 3 spots behind my favorite podcast, Cocaine and Rhinestones, on Apple. So if everybody in the chat subscribed on Apple right now, we would almost certainly pass them, and that would be an amazing thing. So go ahead. World's Greatest Con Season 2, all about game shows.
Yeah. Oh,
Game
yeah.
show cons and scams.
You guys going to talk about the famous one that they made that, what was that thing? Ray Fiennes was in it.
Quiz show?
Quiz show.
Scott,
I love Quiz show.
So glad that you brought that up because indeed our season 2 premiere is all about the scandal surrounding the game show 21, which was the basis of the show Quiz Show, or the movie Quiz Show. I will say this, the book that we primarily based the research for this episode on was the federal prosecutor who did all the work in that case and almost entirely wrote that book because he was pissed off that he was erased entirely from Quiz Show.
Really?
Yes, it is very much a book powered by spite because the book that they based that movie on was somebody who was involved in the congressional hearing,
Yeah.
which came very late in the process. There was like an entire investigation and stuff that happened beforehand. And so that's where we got most of our stuff. And I think we have a very different take than Quiz Show on kind of what the power dynamics were and ultimately that everybody involved in that was risking a lot more than money and fame when the shows were that big and they had reputations to uphold that were obliterated by being made cheaters.
Well, if that stuff's interesting to you, and it is to me, you're going to like this new season, it sounds like. So I didn't realize there were, I mean, I assume the world of game shows, you know, whatever they are, everything from $20,000 pyramid to whatever, all the stuff that was on TV when when I was a kid or whatever. I assumed most of those have some kind of backdoor shenanigans, and I don't mean like big scandal level, but none of that stuff is, just pure contest, right?
Well, the first episode is about a producer who takes liberties with contestants. Our second episode is about a no-name who realizes a 0-day exploit in a game show called Press Your Luck and effectively realizes that he can win money forever. And there's nothing that anybody can do to stop them. And so he wins, adjusted for inflation, what still is the single day a record for money won on an American game show. But we got all sorts of stuff. We have a dude who is a total con artist that decides to win some quick cash. He's going to honestly play a game show and he wins.
Yeah.
We've got a huge scandal that happens with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then the story behind the only perfect bid in the history of the final showcase showdown of the modern Price is Right. Which
wow. Okay.
Has some great first-person perspective because there's a bunch of interviews, there's a documentary about it, and the guy who did it wrote a rambling self-published book that I read in research for it. So that is also a great episode. That's our finale.
I saw that documentary, I believe. I don't remember the name of it though, but I saw it.
Perfect Bid.
That's the guy. That's the one.
Man who knew too much.
Yeah, and they had the whole oh no, that's the millionaire one where the guy's whistling or yelling out in the audience, right? Which I get them mixed up.
Coughing.
Oh,
yeah.
Coughing, that's what it was.
No, that's a great one. We have an episode on that. If you are not familiar with it, you are in for a treat because that is we spent a lot of time. Season 1 of World's Greatest Con went all into Operation Mincemeat, which was the British government's con job on Hitler that effectively helped secure the war in Italy. That is about as complex and high stakes of an opportunity for a con that you will have. By far the dumbest that we have ever covered on this series, and maybe the dumbest that we'll ever cover on this series, is the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire con, which makes a smash and grab look like Knives Out.
That's a great description. There's a documentary for that as well, right? Somewhere that people can get. I mean, listen.
I don't know what? I actually didn't write the initial draft of that script because editing and writing for 2 episodes this season is the winner of America's Next Top Podcaster, Will Saddleberg.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Joined our team here at Dog and Pony Show and worked really, really hard, was great on 2 of those episodes, and that was one of them. So he actually did all the research on that one.
That's awesome. I forgot he was doing that. That's great. That's very cool to hear. Well, since you've been gone, and I have to play this now.
Since you've been gone.
All right. So since you've been gone, jury, some things have happened. And I wanted to go through this list real quick and get your hot takes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So, in this new segment that we'll never do again called
Since you've been gone.
Omicron dipped to its lowest level and is still dipping. So
We
when
did
you
it.
when
We
you
did
left
it.
when you
It's
left things
gone
were
forever,
gnarly.
everybody.
Yep, that's it. No more COVID, right?
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, we're all done. Get out the boat and George Bush and a giant sign. Mission accomplished. Farewell, Omicron. Another thing that happened since
I
you
love
were
that it's a boat. It's just a boat. It's not an aircraft carrier. It's a boat. Just whatever boat you can get your hands on. Just grab a boat and a banner and mission accomplish it.
understatements, I like to make them sometimes, and it's definitely. I mean, you could quantify it as a boat, right? It's a boat, technically a boat.
Yeah, no, it's a boat. Sure, yeah.
It's just not a very
And-
big, small boat.
A whale is a mammal.
The moon is a.
The moon's a rock.
A rock.
right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, this is I actually kind of like this game. All right, Russia invaded Ukraine. There's a recent event happened, so that's a big deal.
That was a biggie. That was
Yeah.
a biggie. The biggest land incursion in Europe since World War II, and boy, does Europe get fussy about that.
Yeah, they don't like that. They have, I think, a pretty strong memory of that time. Don't you think? Doesn't it feel like they're like?
Often forgotten in history. World War II. I feel like people don't bring it up as a metaphor enough.
Yeah, we don't still refer to the war very often.
No,
But,
I think the information and personalities surrounding World War II, a bit of a deep cut in our modern era, certainly isn't thrown around willy nilly.
Okay, I will ask you this before we move on. Are you surprised at the? I don't know if I'd call it a miscalculation. It feels like Russia felt very strongly about their propaganda machine and felt very strongly that this was the time to do this, and that if they were ever going to get away with this / achieve whatever goals Putin has, that this time was going to be ripe for that. But instead, I mean, everyone is shutting them down. Like people that he thought were allies are like, yeah, we're not down with this, and
let's see. We are still early in the game, and there was some backsliding from the EU this morning about sending planes to Ukraine. So obviously this is very, very fluid. Let me also say thank you everybody for joining the #1 most trusted and respected foreign policy podcast. All of what we say should be taken as very well researched opinion. That being said, I think for Putin, well, no, I don't. I have no idea. Because all right, take it from somebody that through the run up to this was called and responded to opportunities to talk about American politics on a Russian propaganda channel, Russia Today.
Really? I don't know why I didn't know this. Keep going. Sorry.
I never talked about this. I talked because they would do these Ted Cruz says, blah, what do you think, American?
Sure.
And I would talk about whatever, mostly the stuff that I normally talk about on PX3. But when I would go, I've been doing those hits for about a year. And normally when I come on, if it's a live hit, then I'll watch what their programming is for about 10 minutes beforehand as they get everything together.
Sure.
And normally it would be some combination of European news or I would say probably right-leaning to Fox Newsy kind of like slants on American political news specifically.
Sure.
In the last week, before everything popped off, everything that they did was, this is not a thing. Russia's not invading. The only reason why this is happening is because Biden's in trouble politically and Boris Johnson's in trouble politically. Total fake news, absolute nonsense. Let's all laugh at the Americans.
Wow.
Well, that was not the case.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were using their propaganda channels to grease the wheels and talking the way they're talking now about Nazis running Kyiv and Zelensky being a drug addict and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, like, I have no idea. I have no idea whether or not that this was a change of direction. I have no idea whether or not they were just uncharacteristically sloppy in thinking about how fast this could go. But I will say he's in some very interesting territory, because we're in like the Hague neighborhood at this point. Like the Human Rights Council has, pointed out things that shouldn't happen again, that are probably going to continue happening. And, he is not there yet, but certainly, because it takes a lot for a world leader to get to, like, we're going to remove you, or now this is like a permanent sanctions kind of thing. But he's trending towards super-sized Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah, pretty bad. It's also strikes me is the big difference this time around as compared to, say, World War II. And I'm not comparing these two events necessarily, but it is the biggest land incursion in Europe since then, like you mentioned. The big difference that I can see is that while his tactics feel familiar in terms of aggression, the difference is we now live in a world where every single person has not just a camera, multiple cameras, and a giant interconnected network where we can communicate these things. So if a Russian tank is going to swerve and try to run over an old man in his car, we're going to have video of it. Whereas that didn't exist in 1943.
I think also this is a materially larger grab than he has done in the past. If you're going to look at what Putin has done throughout his career, even reaching back to 1999, there was the Chechens in Grozny, which was the Russian public was fairly unsympathetic toward because of terror concerns at the time. Then you have Georgia, you have Crimea. Crimea is a very complicated land that was already kind of in a weird joint custody situation that Russians really like to vacation in. No. So him annexing Crimea is something that is not what this is. This is toppling the government with military force in a country of 40 million people next door that are next door to NATO nations. This is a materially larger move for him beyond what the actual fallout is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, since you've been gone, Justin Breyer announced his retirement. We don't have to talk about that much, but that happened.
He did?
Yeah, Justice Breyer, right? Didn't he say he's going to retire?
Yes. Yeah. Justice Breyer and Ketanji Brown Jackson has been nominated in his stead to be the first black woman on the Supreme Court.
First public defender as well, or do I have that wrong?
I believe so. And first sister-in-law of Paul Ryan.
Oh, geez. I didn't know that. That's a trip.
Yeah.
What's Thanksgiving like around there, I wonder? That's interesting. All right. That's cool.
Yeah, no, he congratulated her and was supportive of her, said that they don't particularly see eye to eye on politics, but he's thrilled that a member of his family was being nominated to the Supreme Court.
There you go. There was other stuff, a few things here. Massive eruption in a volcano in Tonga happened. Betty White died while you were gone.
Dude, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and right as there was about to be a big Betty White celebration, for the 100th anniversary.
Yeah, like
you had
a
that
week.
Unfortunate People magazine cover, like
it was like a week before. That sucks. That sucks.
I think days.
Was it days? Okay, that sucks. Bob Dole. Bob Dole says he's out. Done. Goodbye, Bob Dole.
Wow, was that after? Yeah. Bob Dole, a man. It was so great to go have an excuse to go back and watch old Viagra commercials. And then also the fact that I think it is a lost moment in political history that during the Super Bowl, they had the big Britney Spears ad that ended with just Bob Dole sitting by himself in a room watching it, where the joke is that he has a boner. Like the end of this commercial, which cost millions of dollars to create and place on the air during the commercial, was about an old man's boner. And then they did another ad that was specifically designed to feel like a Viagra ad, but it was Bob Dole talking about like, well, I like to feel young and vital thanks to my blue friend, and it's a can of Pepsi instead, but another boner joke. It's just we really had a great time. For a guy that bombed so hard during election day, we sure did love talking about penis.
Yeah, we loved his penis. We miss his penis.
Loved it.
Yeah.
We do, and we miss it. Bless up
Yeah.
to Bob Dole's penis. May it be looking down on all of us right now from heaven.
Yep. Everybody, may it be looking up while it's there. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I don't want it looking down.
Yeah, dude. Rock solid.
Rock solid. Even after death. Let's see what else.
Yeah.
Oh, they found
Hell of a piece, Bob.
Yeah.
St. Peter.
So I got a question for you here.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. So I got a list of things. I got a list of everyone's favorite things Jury has ever said on the show, and they happen to be.
Am I dying? Like, is
No.
like, why?
This is all just a good welcome back to Jury kind of moment here. That's all we got. So here is your top 9 Jury quotes. All right.
Okay.
This is some great content. Now, this list also might happen to coincide with the total number of Jury quotes that I have. Okay. So not only were you voted these as the best 9, they are the only 9 that I have.
These are just the ones you have on your board.
These are the ones I have on my board. They just happen to also be voted by the thousands of people who voted.
In a totally separate vote amongst everything I've ever said in the years that I did the TMS. These were the top 9
These
votes.
were the top 9. So here we go. And they're not all necessarily from TMS. A couple of these might be from something else, but here's number 1, or here's number 10, or number 9, I should say.
Wild Bill Clinton scandalizing these youths with his penis.
No, let's see, the penis of Bill Clinton. That's good. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninth on
Wild
our
Bill
list.
Clinton.
Yeah. Number 8 on that list.
You son of a bitch.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
I feel like that was that an unfriend me intro? I feel like that sounds like an unfriend me.
Might have
intro.
been. There might have been a couple of these that are that.
Yeah. No, that was the angry voice. I don't think I've ever found another place to put that angry voice, but people did like the angry internet voice.
Yeah, your fake angry guy who wants to unfriend you is pretty legendary around here.
That's
so
a pretty good one. I got to find another place to put it.
find a use for that. Whoops, I already played that. All right, here's number 7. I don't. It's just a weird noise. All right, so there's that. Number 6 coming in hot at number
That's
7.
an onomatopoeia right there.
Oh yeah, kind of. Hold on. I should play it backwards. It'll probably say "Love Satan," whatever, some kind of backwards masking. Here you are talking about penises again.
They've removed the penis before you snort it.
Don't know what that is. Don't
I feel
remember.
like you just like it when I say penis on the show, and you like to clip it out.
I mean, I'm starting to wonder myself if
I
I'm
feel
honest.
like we're seeing a pattern here, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, I
All
definitely
right.
said
Now,
that.
some of these less so, like this one.
You're making a straw man.
There you go. The straw man comment. That's good.
I love. Oh, geez. Every once in a while, I feel like I've gotten over most of my childhood stutter, but boy, when it needs to arise, boy, does it.
I'm really glad that it was me that brought that up for you. Not knowing you had a childhood stutter. All right.
No, I think comedically it actually kind of works sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. It's part of your timing. All right, here's one of my favorite things you ever say, and you say it sometimes. Here it is.
And that's why the media's doing meep mop moop.
Yeah, I like that. Meep mop moop. In fact, I think I use that sometimes.
That's a crutch. Meep mop moop or bleep blop blorp. That's another favorite of mine is bleep blop blorp.
Yeah.
I think that's just a better version of yada yada yada. Really.
It is. It's pretty good though. All right, here's one you telling something about Tom not knowing words. I don't know where this came from, but here it is.
Tom don't know the words.
Tom don't know the words. Don't know. Voted as number.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly where that was from.
Yeah.
That was when I was covering the primary in 2020. I was in South Carolina covering the Tom Steyer event.
Yeah.
Where Juvenile,
Oh yeah.
the rapper, was performing, and he was doing "Back That Ass Up," and Tom Steyer, his wife, and his kids all came up on stage to dance along with him, and there was the dude next to me that looked at his friend and said, "Tom don't know the words." Which that's true. I don't believe that Tom Steyer did know the words to back that
I
ass
forgot about that. Video's amazing. Him dancing up there, incredible stuff.
It just, I mean, there's a lot to be said about Tom Steyer and his wife's dancing.
Yeah, a gift to humanity. All right, here's the. This is my favorite. It came in at number 2, but this is my favorite. All right, here you go.
We're going to crypto coin. God damn it!
A little bit of Alex Jones there, I think. I think is what you're
That's
doing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like
And
that
also
one.
just good words to live by. Everybody loves the crypto.
Oh, people love the crypto. NFTs, you even mention those, and the room erupts in joyful praise. No one cannot get excited.
Clapping and singing and saying, like, praise be to NFTs.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I think I figured. So this morning I got a notice on Twitter. Open the app. First thing I see is you've been locked out of your account. It's in the app, so it's not like an email or a fake thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I read it, and it says DMCA takedown was issued. They don't tell you what or what tweet or anything. They tell you nothing. At least YouTube tells you what video is in violation.
Yeah.
They don't tell me. So the only thing I can think of is Nintendo lately has gotten super litigious with artists. And I did a picture of Kirby wearing pants. And I have a feeling that might have been it.
I will say that I think you get a link to the tweet if you're getting suspended.
Yes.
Like if you get put in Twitter jail,
Right.
then they'll let you know that, or they'll give you the option to delete it and you can get access to your account back.
Yeah.
But yeah, the DMCA ones, I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
What is the point of them, though? Like, if they're not going to tell me what I need to remove or not do again, what's the point of it? Like, I don't
Because
even...
it might have also just been a fart in the system where, somebody updated the wrong data table, and next thing you know, you've got a DMCA thing with no link, right?
Could be. It's possible, I suppose. Well, it annoyed me anyway, Twitter.
Well, because normally, having gotten a false DMCA on Twitch once, the DMCA notices are supposed to tell you who DMCA'd you.
Yeah, so
Even
you can...
if they don't say what it's for. Usually on YouTube they do because that's part of the process.
Right.
But usually you should know who it is. So if there was nothing there, then
maybe
I wouldn't pay much mind to it. But
Yeah.
maybe it was creepy.
It wouldn't let me in until I agreed to Twitter's terms of service once more. I had to do it in the app, and then I could get in. But all the other apps...
Renew your faith to Twitter.
Yeah.
Renew your vows.
My fealty. I had to bend the knee again to them.
Do you solemnly swear to shitpost with the utmost veracity, take all arguments as if they're really seriously, and to routinely miss that jokes are for real statements? Click here. Welcome back to Twitter.
Yeah, welcome back to Twitter. You're home. Yeah.
You're home.
F those guys. All right, number one, the big number one, all time. Everyone loves this one.
I think I know this.
Oh, you
one.
do? Okay.
I think there's not much that would top one of the funniest stories. But play the clip.
Oh,
and then
this may not be it because it's really short. Let me play it. Here it is.
Oh yeah.
That's everyone's favorite.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
No, so no boodle deedle do.
Nope, no boodle deedle do. I mean, we have boodle deedle do, but I think the reason that people didn't vote or it didn't win was because that thing got played every Tuesday, and I think they just saw it as like part of the tapestry.
It got played out.
Yeah, or it just became.
No, that's just that's unfriend me. Scott, why did you cancel unfriend me in the instance on the same day?
Yeah,
that's
I don't know if you guys knew this. I just bulldozed everything that day and just said F it. And
the instance took longer because they had sold ads for 3 more years.
Oh man, I wish.
Longer, but that was the call was made on the same day.
I wish that was true. No, that was that's another weird thing that happened while you were gone was last week I ended the instance.
You ended the instance.
Yeah.
Number one, in all seriousness, amazing run. I mean, just an epic, amazing run. You are. I said that you were a Hall of Fame podcaster. I then found out that there is an actual podcasting Hall of Fame that you are actually in.
Yeah,
so I was just stating a fact. Or no, I said that the instance was a Hall of Fame podcast.
Yeah.
You are a Hall of Fame podcaster.
Did you really say that not knowing that I was in the podcasting Hall of Fame at the time that you said it? Did you not know that?
I did not know that there was a podcasting.
That's really funny.
I did not know that there was a podcasting Hall of Fame. No.
That's
because
funny.
I don't know. Maybe it should be incumbent upon the Hall of Fame to, I don't know, keep that front of mind for people.
Completely agree. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think some of that stuff is goofy, and I'm never.
Otherwise, like, what the hell's? I mean, I don't want to denigrate it too much because I just heard the other day that that a friend of ours is going in, and another friend of ours is inducting her. But
Yeah.
so I don't want to denigrate it too much because I do like everybody involved in that situation, and it is an honor.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I in all seriousness, man, the instance is just a staple, and I want to congratulate you on A, that achievement, and B, the fact that now you're gonna have more free time to do more stuff that other people are really, really, really gonna like.
Yeah.
And that's what I think sometimes when you cancel things, like you unceremoniously did with Unfriend Me, that I just begged you and screamed to not have you cancel, but you were just like, no, Justin, absolutely, I'm very mean. I hate my audience. I'm canceling Unfriend Me.
Yeah.
That what in reality that does is it opens up a lot of free space and time, because podcasting is like, there's not a lot of other arts where you like do a thing and people like it, and then that means you do it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like,
it's weird.
Regardless of what you're doing and where you're at in life and what's happened, it's just, no, people like it, and now they will do it, and now you will do it forever. And I think sometimes it is very, very healthy to just say, look, sometimes time comes, time goes. If you like the mind behind it, then you're going to really like what comes next.
Yeah, that's or what's even happening currently. Like, there's a lot of really great stuff happening. Core's popping off like crazy. If you're looking for the spirit of the instance, it kind of lives there now. Like, there's a lot to listen to now. And yeah, you're right. I get more time. And despite my allergy to compliments, which I truly have in life, I hate them. I appreciate you saying that, number one. And number two, nobody should believe a word Justin says about Unfriend Me. I did not cancel
my God.
show.
It was just, I was crying. I'm like, Scott, why would you do this? Like, not even to me, but the people. And he just says, like, you know what? I'm canceling Unfriend Me. Screw you, hippie. And I was like, wow, that's weird that you're doing my voice. That's all of this might have been me in the mirror. Now that I'm thinking about it, this might have been me. It might not have been Scott.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah.
I canceled Unfriend Me. Send me all your hate mail.
Send all your hate mail to Justin. But
I've gotten enough hate mail on.
You made them all happy, because everybody all week's been going, oh, Justin's going to be there Tuesday. Can you make him do an Unfriend Me voice? And you just did it. So nicely done. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody wins. All right. Well done. Now, Justin, join us for a little bit of news. It's the news, and it's brought to you by Jules Scott. You guys know Jules Scott. She's amazing at Jules RPG. Her channel on Twitch is twitch.tv/TheJulesScott. She did that amazing episode of The Instance last year, right after the mess with Blizzard, and had amazing perspectives. I don't know if anyone heard that episode. It's an amazing episode. You guys should still go check it out. And by the way, all that stuff will stay in perpetuity on the internet. I'm not taking The Instance off the internet. I'm just not making new ones. Anyway, she streams 3 times a week, 3 different sets, 3 to 4 hours per set. She does house music on Tuesdays at 8 p.m., dark and emotional melodic and progressive techno on Thursdays at 8 p.m., and chill melodic, progressive, and deep house on Sundays. She's really good. That's at 11 a.m. Eastern on Sundays. She's trying to achieve partner by the end of 2022, so every viewer helps boost the average viewer number. They want to get past 75 if they can, or if she can. Turn the stream on while you're gaming, cooking, chilling, cleaning, exercising. It makes great background soundtrack. Follow her today at twitch.tv/TheJulesScott. That's Jules, and then just like my name, Scott. And she's awesome. If you guys know Jules at all, you already know this. But if you don't know it, you need to get in there and make that happen. All right. Justin, some news for you here. Let's break down. I mean, I know you're involved in the political upheaval every day, but today we're going to talk about the need to raise awareness of the diagnosed syndrome known as uncomfortable hair syndrome. Have you heard of this?
No, but I have. Now that I have more hair, I am very uncomfortable with it. So maybe I could be diagnosed with this.
Maybe you have it and you just never knew it.
You think I can get on the plane early?
Maybe.
If I have this?
Maybe.
I would like this a lot. I would like to have some kind of inoffensive, low-grade disability that just gives me like very basic privileges over my friends.
Sure. You could probably, at Walmart, you can drive one of those little scooter things. You want to do that?
I would like to have a little scooter. I would like to really not even one of their scooters. I want to drive one of like the Bird or Lime scooters. That's really what I want.
I'm not sure this disability will get you there, but
I want to be able to drive a little go-kart through just a gas-powered go-kart through Walmart.
it might work. A Georgia mom is on a mission to spread joy and raise awareness after her 1-year-old son was diagnosed with uncomfortable hair syndrome, an actual thing. It's a hair disorder she had never heard of until last year. The boy's mother, Caitlin Samples, told Good Morning America that a stranger messaged her last summer on Instagram after seeing a photo of her youngest son, Lachlan Samples. It's an odd name. I love it. It's fine.
Its name
is Lachlan Samples. Yeah.
I thought that was like a medical statement.
Yeah.
Like Johnson, get me the Lachlan samples.
Bring the samples in.
God, as he holds it up to the X-ray thing.
Yep. Yeah. It's Jason Bourne. Anyway, it says asked if you have been diagnosed with uncomfortable hair syndrome. At first, you see syndrome and you're like, oh my gosh, like something's wrong with my baby. Is he in pain or something? Samples were called. Again, her name is Samples. She added, I just went into a tailspin and did a Google deep dive, called his pediatrician, and the pediatrician was like, hang on, let us look at this. They hadn't heard of it either, so they sent us to a specialist, a pediatric dermatologist at Emroy in Atlanta, and they were able to get the diagnosis. Now, I'm going to recommend people click this link, or Justin, you may want to look at it. Look at this kid's hair. Like, it's kind of badass, but apparently this is a real thing, and is worthy of its own diagnosis. I'm not laughing at the kid, I promise. It's just a lot of hair in a very uncomfortable, confusing way, and I don't know how.
Oh man, yeah. No, he looks like Yahoo Serious.
Yeah, he does. maybe Yahoo Serious had that. I don't know. Never thought of it.
He's got like teased out. In fact, his hair kind of looks like one of those big Russian hats.
Yeah.
Like it has that similar kind of like shape to it.
Almost like a semi-translucent Russian hat.
It is semi-translucent as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks badass. So wait, all right. This is one of my favorite things to do in the world, which is diagnose why is this a story.
Right.
And to me, this is a story for two reasons. It's specifically a television story because the hair looks awesome. It looks cool.
Yeah.
So is the kid in pain?
No, according to this, there's no pain involved.
Better.
The problem can be what people end up doing when they're younger, according to what I read, is they shave it and they just keep shaving it. Like they're just like, I'm not really bald, but if I let it grow, you'd all think there was something wrong with me. So I'm just gonna shave my head my whole life.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think it looks great.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think the other reason why this is a story is because it has one of the worst names for a disease ever. Right? Like normally it's like it's named after somebody. It'd be like the Dingle-Dop Flugelfarf syndrome or whatever. And that would just be, and then it's like, oh, like otherwise known as crazy hair disease or whatever. That's what we called it in the 1800s when we thought it was black humors that caused it. But you'd have like a fancy name for it, but it's called uncomfortable hair syndrome.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, immediately it's a very evocative name. You're thinking like, oh, is it like when my scalp is itchy? Is it like when the hair isn't falling in the right place? No, it just makes him kind of look like he got electrified.
It's like I don't know what I'm looking for here, but like there was Asperger's. I guess we don't do that anymore. But yeah, name it after somebody. It can't be Yahoo Serious because then you just call it the serious disease. That's not good. There's lots of serious diseases, right?
Scott, you've raised 3 children,
I have.
So I am woefully inexperienced to answer this. But if you had a baby and that baby had that hair, would you wait until somebody on Instagram said, "Hey, there's something wrong with that kid's hair" before you poked into it?
Well, he's all of, let's see, how old is he? He's only 1 year old when he got the diagnosis. I would have probably not known either, or have been not.
You just would have thought it's like, oh, well, this baby's got crazy hair.
Yeah, my daughter had crazy hair when she was born. I wouldn't call it this, but it was crazy enough we always remarked that, Carter had crazy hair and why is her hair so weird and her sister didn't have weird hair like that. And then by the time she was, I don't know, 3 or 4, it became ruly and normal. But had this thing like persisted or been, or was something that somebody had to bring up to me. I mean, I don't know. I probably would have done like she did. I would have gone, what? Really? Is that a thing? And I would have looked it up. And then I would have gone to a pediatrician and said, is there anything
like
to this?
You would have done content about it.
Oh,
before.
hell yeah. Hell
you would
yeah.
have just been like, look at the crazy hair on this baby.
Yeah.
Look at baby crazy hair. And then it would have been an actual disease, and you would have been like,
Oh, shit.
you delete those posts.
Yeah, no, I totally would have done that. I would have made content, and then I would have had a little bit of guilt, and then I would have made the content and called it awareness after that. So there you go. Yeah.
Hashtag awareness.
Hashtag uncomfortable hair
Change
awareness.
your bios and update your profile pictures with the appropriate frame.
Yep. And if anyone says anything about the old stuff, I just say, oh, I have regrets.
Exactly.
But
And
now.
also, please go to OpenSea and buy an NFT of my crazy baby's hair.
Oh, I hate how true that is that you just said that.
5,000 limited Ethereum proof of stake.
I've told Tom this and others this on different shows and stuff. I don't think I've told you. I had two separate people. I say people, could have been, I don't know, could have been fake, could have been bots. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they came to me trying to sell me my own artwork as freshly minted NFTs. And if I didn't get them, then somebody else would, sort of deal. And I kept thinking, okay, well, I get that now, potentially, they probably weren't, but I get that they're on the blockchain in theory, and that you've done all this, and now there are these unique things on the blockchain. But I'm like, bitch, I've got a PSD about 30 layers thick where I created this thing in the first place in 2012. Like,
well, really, that's a dumb thing for them, because alerting you to it gives you the power to totally devalue it.
right. It does. You're right. And that's why I don't think it was real.
Go out there and say, hey, these are worthless. I did not consent to them. So you are cutting off the largest audience that would buy it, which is fans of yours. And you can just say, hey, these will always be cursed things. I'm not doing NFTs. If I ever do them, then you will know from me that I'm doing it, not from anybody else.
Yeah, I'll be the guy to let you know, you dummies.
But basically, you can just tank the value on all of these JPEGs.
Yeah. Pretty weird how that worked out. All right, one final story before we take our song break today. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. I hope I'm saying it right.
Vladimir. I think it's Vladimir.
Is it Vladimir? It's VOLOD Volodymyr.
Look, man, you want to go to Kiev and argue about it?
No, I barely want to go to
Also,
Kiev.
he won Dancing with the Stars over there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Is that true?
Dude, there's a great clip of just the montage of all of his dances, which I don't know if he won. They said on the internet he won, but like, who knows? He was on Twitter. But he had to be in there for a while because there was like a ton of dances. That man, and he's got moves.
I had no idea. Well, this is even weirder. He was the voice of Paddington Bear in the Ukrainian version of Paddington 1 and 2 in that country.
You want to know what? I feel like we're in reruns because I feel like I didn't know the Dancing with the Stars thing, but everything else I learned at some point during the impeachment, because that does sound very, very familiar.
Oh, maybe because he was at the center of that.
He was in the news a lot
Yeah.
with the impeachment, and I watched the first half of the pilot of the show that launched him into political success.
Yeah.
Servant of the people.
Is that like
I've got notes. I've got notes.
Oh.
So I know he's busy right now, but when you've wrapped that up and assuming you survived and you're not in a Siberian detention center getting your balls electrocuted.
Yeah.
I've got some notes. So just I'm not saying I need to be the front of the list, Zelensky. I'm saying, appropriately in the back, and then we'll just talk about some ways that you could tighten up that show that you made 15 years ago.
Who is this dog and pony show? He'll say to his people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on over here. Let's make a podcast together.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine if you landed that deal? That'd be the end of Justin for us.
King podcast. Everybody would throw roses at me.
Oh my gosh! You'd make suddenly Joe Rogan would be just put down. They just put him down.
They would.
Yeah.
They would. He would kneel. He would heal to my power.
Oh man! All right. By the way, can I just say something real quick about Spotify podcasts? Those a-holes over there don't refresh artwork. So if you do a new version of your Apple or of your album art, which is just part of the RSS feed, which they're all pulling from to get new episodes anyway, they also pull from that URL to say, here's the art for it. And so everyone displays their square version of your album art on every service everywhere, including them when you first sign up. But if you change the damn artwork, Spotify caches that line and never changes it. So if you could have 10 renditions of your art, and over the last 5 years, and the one from 5 years ago is all you're going to see on Spotify. It annoys me like
Wait,
I hate
really?
It. Yes.
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
I've been fighting this right now, and it sucks. I can't get anyone to fix it. And they're still showing art for Film Sack, for example.
Our new art is live.
Is it new for?
Yeah.
They used to have the old one
by Garrett, by the way.
Oh right, Garrett. Yeah, he
both
told me he
the original and the new one. But yeah, no, it's new on there.
Well, then what the heck, man? Why? What the frick? All right.
I mean, look, there's a lot of reasons to be frustrated with Spotify in terms of their podcasting stuff. But you know, right now they took the mantle from Apple. They're the #1 podcasting clearinghouse. So,
are they now? Is it because of that the Joe Rogan like exclusivity shows type stuff? Do you think? Do you think that's what did it? I mean,
you know, and also Apple has like went 3 decades not giving a crap about this thing that they totally owned and they did not care about. Like a month ago, they were like, oh, yeah, we're gonna do paid things and you can subscribe on Apple, and it's like, well, that's stupid. Late. Why don't you do better things to your product, and then maybe people will want to buy things? And Apple was like, you were poor. Let's go make another iPhone. And they all went over and made an iPhone that I also purchased. But yeah, Apple has not cared about podcasting, and Spotify really does care about it and is spending a lot of money on it. It's just a shame that they've decided to jam the experience into an app that is optimized to do another thing.
Yeah, I don't love the experience over there, I'll have to admit.
Not a huge fan, but we're old, man. We're like the wildlings beyond the wall. Like we're very set in our ways. We like our podcatchers very specific with our specific things.
Yeah,
the kids.
I saw you asking yesterday what was the overall poll winner. I think Pocket Cast looked like it was winning. Did it for you when you asked on Twitter?
You know, I haven't gone back, and I mostly just do that so I can just scroll through and just be like, I don't know. Let me sample it. It's just me like walking through the streets. Like I just kind of feel like Belle in Beauty and the Beast. People are just shouting from their windows, like Pocket Cast, Downcast, Overcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. And then there's my brother, the comedic one, my little brother, just discordant at the end of the block, just like an old drunk, tumbles from behind a dumpster and just goes, SoundCloud.
That's great. I like the SoundCloud guy. I like your brother. I think that's funny.
My little brother is the only person who primarily listens to podcasts on SoundCloud.
That's amazing. Your SoundCloud's great for hosting that stuff, but I don't know if I could use it to listen to them. That'd be weird.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't either.
I have no idea that he is, and he has a podcast too. It's not like, anyway, my brother's weird, but
it's all right. We all have siblings.
I think it was primarily like our audience has an overrepresentation of Pocket Cast and Downcast and Overcast. I think those are the 3 most popular non-big things. And then other than that, a lot of people on YouTube. People love podcasts on YouTube. They just put it on in the background and
which is weird because the reason I got banned from YouTube is because I was putting Film Sacks up there. And boy, talk about your DMCA freak out. I was using just like fair use single short clips of like Arnold Schwarzenegger making a single line from the movie we were covering or whatever, and they shut down my freaking account for that. So that show never goes on there anymore. But all the rest of them are just copies of what we're doing right now. Like I'm recording this so I can put it up there after. And I'm always surprised how many people want to just throw it up there and let it play. I don't know why. It's just not my thing.
Because like we put up on Modern Rogue the premiere of World's Greatest Con and the teaser, both of which have a clip of Britney Spears performing Baby One More Time live.
Yeah.
And not a flag.
No ding?
Not nary a ding.
I don't know. I feel like once you hit about 1 million subs, they quit giving you shit. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Really? You think you're persecuted?
I think that I'm at my lowly, since I really don't focus much on YouTube, my lowly 16,000 followers or whatever it is over there. I don't think I think they are happy to target me, but anywhere where there's like real ad business happening, I think they're like, well, maybe a little softer glove over here in this
But
category.
I don't know. I think because all that's automated these days. Like,
Yeah, it's for a lot of robots. You're right.
If it recognizes. Also, we've gotten dinged for stuff before. In season 1, we make a comparison to a Nazi official being incompetent and call him the George Costanza of the Nazis.
Yeah.
And then play the Seinfeld theme.
Yeah.
The like. That got flagged by YouTube, and so we had to change it to a royalty-free version of the Seinfeld theme.
Oh, that's hilarious. Those are the worst, the royalty-free versions, because it's like instead of it's like like it's like the same instrument.
But also it doesn't. It actually worked for the Seinfeld thing because that dude did it live.
Right.
Like he scored Seinfeld live. So like there are certain hits that we remember, but in every episode he was doing wacky stuff. So it's like, you know, the fact that this one was a wackier thing, it's like people got it. It's like George Costanza. I think like you kind of got you got this far.
It worked. Okay. As long as it worked, that's all we need. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back to this here show, we're going to spend a little bit of time with Bill Duran. I was going to talk about making stuff today. We don't know what, but it'll be great. I'm sure of it. And then we'll have a science segment with Bobby, so stick around. This is what we replaced Justin with. We have 2 segments on a Tuesday now.
There we go.
Yeah. That's a guy's so big, it took 2 people to fill his hole. Whoa, wait a minute. That was the wrong way to say that. Anyway, I regret nothing. Let's go ahead and play you a song. This week I get to choose all the stuff because Brian's out of town, and I am deciding to go a little Utah connection here.
Utah connection.
There's a band here in Utah called the Aces, and it's made up of, I believe, 4 total lovely young women who make great music, and I really like them. I feel like they represent our state really well in terms of like the cool indie scene of music that's here that no one ever knows about. And I don't know, I describe them as sort of indie pop. They make a song called 801, which is all about growing up in Salt Lake City, which I totally jive to because, again, I like my hometown, and I think there's a lot of stuff in that song that is like bitingly cool. Anyway, it's the Aces. It's their song 801. You can get on their whole album called, hold on, I was going to give them album pimp here. Here we go. Under My Influence is the name of the song, or the album. So I definitely would recommend checking out the entire album. It's very good. So here are the Aces. We'll be right back.
Poo Trap is a unique new product that fits any size dog without any hassles, and your pets will love it too. It's easy to install on your dog and makes your walking experience fun. Walking your dog just got easier with a Poo Trap. No poops, no whoops.
Eat recycled food for a happier, healthier life.
Her name is the Morning Stream, and she dances on the sand.
And we're back, everybody. Once again, that was the Aces with 801 from their album Under My Influence. Do check it out if you have a moment. They stream everywhere you can get your music, YouTube as well. I wish I could play those songs live because that song's really good, and I'd like to hear it.
Is it?
Yeah, I love it.
Good?
I love it. It's
What's your best impression of it? Right, just the chorus.
I'm not gonna sing it because I'm terrible at it.
No, but just maybe like not like sing, just like the melody. Like you can just like.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll do this. Even though people at home already heard it, I'm pausing you. Yeah.
I did mouth guitar like nobody's business.
Yeah.
You just give me a song and I would do the guitar solo with my mouth, and then people wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Well, I could rap it. I could say, because she has such a cute little like great voice. I can't do it. Maybe just the guitar. Growing up in the 801. Let's see, blowing up the club because there's only one or something like that. I can't remember the lyric. It's really you got to hear this song because it's great. It like rips on my state and throws love at my state at the same time. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So you like it because it's well written.
I like it. It's also super catchy.
Catchy?
Yeah, It's got
It goes like how? How did it go?
Gosh dang it! You're still trying to get me to do it. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm one club, so we blow it up, and they're wrong. There are more than one club, but it's funny because they say there's only one. Oh, and they say
Salt Lake City club defender Scott Johnson. Watch out, man! Don't slander the population of clubs for old bottle service Johnson over here. He is a fixture at all of the clubs, and there are multiple in Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
he is king of the VIP.
We're lousy with clubs now. All right, punish props incoming. We're gonna get our old pal Bill in. I don't even know if he knew you were gonna be here today, so this will be a nice treat for Bill, I would assume.
Yeah.
So we'll find out shortly, but I gotta play this first. Where's this thing? Here it is.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Bill Duran joins us from punishprops.com from the Pacific Northwest and his home studio where he makes all kinds of cool stuff, which we'll talk about today. Justin and I are very excited to see you, Bill. How are you?
Yeah, Bill.
I'm excited to be back on Tuesdays with Justin.
Yeah,
I am too. I'm excited.
I miss my buddy Justin.
Yeah,
It's been forever since I've seen Bill. I feel like we were settling into a routine there, Bill, where we would see each other multiple times a year, and then all of a sudden, the cold grasp of the vid ripped our friend.
Oh, did. Yeah. But I promise, Austin is high on my list of places to visit. Just after Hawaii, I'm going to Hawaii next month, and that's
nice.
important.
That's a very good place to go.
Yeah.
It should always be a priority for you. We are. I'm looking at a very unusual thing for me to do. I don't like cruises. I find them claustrophobic and annoying. But I think I'm going to go on one, and we're thinking about doing the Alaska Princess Cruise business because it just seems cool.
Ain't that like 12 days?
Yeah, well, no, this one's only, they have a 12-day one. They got a 6-day. Still pretty chunky for me, but
that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Wait, so I have a million questions, but we're just eating into a Bill's segment. We'll refrain from
now I'm curious what your questions would be. It's a cruise. It should be good.
Number one, like, I'm just shocked that you're going to a physical location that's not Anaheim or Las Vegas.
I see. Yeah,
the biggest shock is that there is a non-Anaheim or Las Vegas destination for Scott Johnson because, as far as I knew, I didn't know that you existed outside of those three locations.
Yeah, Salt Lake. Yeah, I've got the little trifecta. Well, when Kim, look, our 30. This sounds crazy to say. Our 30-year anniversary is this year, this fall, and that's a huge number. And so, it just didn't feel right to walk up to Kim and go, for our 30th, I was thinking. Vegas. How do you feel about Vegas? So yeah, we're gonna do something cool. We haven't locked it in yet, but we got ideas. Anyway, forget about me. Let's talk about Bill. Bill is here. He's got stuff to make, or he's making things, and always got something cool to tell us about. Bill, what are you doing this week?
Making, my man.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I put together a CNC machine, a CNC router. I just got my hands on a Shapeoko from. Who are the folks that make that?
Shapeoko.
Carbide 3D.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Shapeoko.
Gotcha. Wait, can you tell the people at home who aren't familiar what the 2 C's stand for in a CNC machine?
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of their music factory.
That's right. It's a computer numerical control. That's what it stands for. But it's like a 3D printer, but it's got a prim router in it, so it can cut material instead of printing it.
So my brother-in-law Steve has one of these that does wood. This is the same kind of thing, I guess. Except
yeah.
All right.
I plan on using mine to cut up metal parts to make props. So that's my goal.
Sure.
They're really cool. And the thing I wanted to talk about was that you can buy a lot of pre-made machines, and sometimes you can buy them unassembled. Sometimes you have to buy them unassembled. And putting together a machine like that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It drops the cost of the machine, and it makes it easier to ship if they can ship it in parts instead of this big bulky thing.
Sure.
And frequently, Prusa makes really nice 3D printers. You can buy the Mark 3S Plus, i3 Mark 3S Plus. That's the newest one.
Wow.
For $1,000, assembled, or for $750 you can buy it as a kit. So you save $250 if you put it together yourself, which is that's a quarter. That's 25% off. That's pretty great.
Is there? Wow, Prusa is a dude. I just realized that there's a guy named Joseph Prusa who makes all these printers and is famous for it, and I had no idea it was a guy. I thought it was like some big. Well, it's probably a big company now, but
What did you think? It was like a deity?
I didn't know what I thought. It was like, you know, you hear
it on the mountaintop for you.
Well, no, it's
who
like,
else do you think is making these things?
It's like hearing the name DeWalt, or I don't know, like a big name. I guess they all are people's names, but I didn't know this guy was like making.
You think
printers.
it was just market research? Like, oh, we need a great name for power tools. D screw, D hammer. No, shut up, Walt. DeWalt. You get a raise.
I can't wait to meet Jeffrey Ultimaker.
Yeah,
I hear he's really good.
Oh, he's a great guy, Jeff Ultimaker. He goes by Jeff to his friends, by the way. Anyway, well, yeah, so that's cool. So you had to assemble this yourself? You just get the parts and make it, or what?
Yeah, I've actually put together one of those Prusa machines. They're really well built, and the instructions are really great. I find the process of putting together a CNC machine like that pretty enjoyable. I think other people maybe they're not that into that, but it's like a really cool Tinker Toy kit or an Erector set. You know, those relevant toys that kids are talking about these days. Mm-hmm. It's like that, but in the end, you get a really cool machine when you're all done.
I love your attitude about that, because that stuff just gives me, just thinking about assembling one of these makes me go, oh, I'm going to have someone else do this. I don't want to do it.
Right.
And I used to be like the opposite. Like in my 20s, if I was going to get a computer, I'm building that computer. I'm going to get the parts. I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to be in there for hours. I'm going to F up 50 times, and it won't matter because I'll get there eventually, and I'll fix it, and then I'll break it again and then fix it again. Like that was my attitude. And now I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Time. I don't have time to do this anymore. So I admire this about you. I wish I felt that way about making something.
I do still buy, like, some of my 3D printers came pre-assembled, but the Shapeoko, I didn't have a choice. So,
all right. Well, then you've just got a good attitude about things you don't have a choice about.
I chose to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great.
It wasn't that hard. Most of the assembly is as simple as lining up parts and then screwing them together, and it came with all the tools necessary, and it had video instructions.
Nice.
Some kits will do this, so you just follow along the video. Carbide 3D made their own video. Other companies that make machines like this, they'll either have really good instructions with images and words to follow, or fans have made their own assembly videos. Some of the cheaper 3D printers, I will say, the instructions are a little dicey, a little weird. Yeah. I put together a really cheap one a few years ago, and there was a lot of guessing, but I guess you kind of get what you pay for there.
Yeah.
I would say with stuff like that, man, I can't imagine a world of assembling anything without YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It is just a total game changer.
No, I mean, like everything. Like if you want to, I have a game from 1996 I'm trying to review for my retro show, and as I was getting ready to do it, I could not beat this boss in this old ass game. Just couldn't do it. And I thought, well, I'll never beat that. And then my brain went, no, you dummy. Someone's done it, and it's on YouTube. And sure enough, I go in there, and in 4 seconds, I see the trick, and I go fix it, and I beat the boss. Like it was nothing. Yeah. We live in a time of embarrassment of riches. We just don't know it. Like
back in the day, you'd have to go find an old dog-eared copy of Nintendo Power.
Yeah, if you were lucky, they talked about the game you cared about. And then, you know, you still had a manual this thick for the stupid game that came packed in it. Like, just a different era. But, man, as much as we sometimes bemoan the shit that goes on in today's modern world, I think this stuff's pretty great.
Maybe we're just all big babies complaining, and not the real men like Bill Duran building his own CNC machine.
That's right.
Darn straight.
Bill Duran. Wait, I have a question about this, though. Computer on the computer end, anything will do? You just have certain software or whatever to do the CNC part, you know, the computer-aided part?
Sure. For the CNC stuff, I use Fusion 360. I'll do all my 3D modeling in that, and you can also do all your CAM work paths for that right in Fusion, which is great. And then Carbide has their own software for sending all that stuff to the machine. Nice. I haven't done that part yet, not with this machine. Yeah. So I'm talking about it now as if it'll be a piece of cake, but we'll see.
All right.
But yeah, the Fusion 360 is really good for that.
Okay, so we're not talking about some crazy specialty stuff you're gonna have to subscribe to or anything. Like if you're already using Fusion, you've got it.
Yeah, and it's free for hobbyists.
Right. Yeah. And you still count as one of those, right? You don't have to, pretend you're
It depends on how I'm using it.
Okay.
Yeah, when's the man gonna come after you for
Yeah.
being too good?
That's right.
I mean, you're already too late because you're too good. But has anyone noticed? Like the man has noticed? How's
No,
that?
I have friends at Autodesk.
Okay.
I'm set.
This is how it used to be for me when I was using Photoshop for different things. I could use a lot of free stuff because I could get away with it. But the minute you start publishing something or kickstarting something, it's like, nah, wait a minute, you might be in the
Wait,
pro
hold on.
category.
How does that work? Does like Adobe send you an email saying like, "Hey, we're trying to look up your license, famous artist, and we can't find it."
Well, what they do now, I mean, they used to kind of do that if they could. I don't know how they enforced it. I never got bugged, but these days, your only choice really is to either use something ancient that's completely out of copy, or use the CC service, which is now a subscription. So,
Well, that's easy. I mean, because they made it. They realized like, okay, just make the thing,
Yeah.
so people can pirate it. and
You're
use
one
it
of the
for,
most
like,
pirated things in the
you're
history
gonna
of the
wanna
world.
Just get the subscription.
Yeah, you're the most pirated software probably in the history of software. So your solution, actually, I think it's a good one for them. I think it's still too much for what they charge, for what they give you, and I have lots of complaints, but that's the way to do it if you don't want to get people pirating anymore. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's not important. What's important is all the cool shit Bill's going to make out of this machine.
That's right.
What are you gonna make? Like a sword or something?
Yeah, what are you doing there? A gun?
The first thing is some Ghostbusters Afterlife ecto goggle parts. I think that'll be the first thing I cut out of aluminum. That's
All
the
right.
Do you
plan
like
anyway.
that movie? I didn't watch it.
Yes, it's very good. I've watched it again recently, and it's just as good.
Just as good the
I
second
heard
time.
there's a very creepy Harold Ramis scene.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't call it creepy. I enjoyed the Harold Ramis scenes.
Did they ghost him or something? Make him a ghost?
I'm not going to spoil it.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I need to see it. It's on something now. Can I just
I heard
watch
it. Yeah, it's just boy. Sometimes the de-aging stuff is great. Like all the John Goodman stuff this season on Royal Gemstones or Righteous Gemstones was amazing. It looked like old John Goodman, flawless. And then sometimes Luke Skywalker's jittery face, right with its cold, dead eyes. And
You'd
like,
think
"What's that?
you
What is that?"
would think that would be the best one because they've got all the tools at their disposal. They've got ILM. They've got all that history. They should be able to make a better de-aging for
Well,
Mark
it
Hamill.
was so embarrassing that they hijacked a full episode of The Mandalorian to show that they got better at it over the summer.
Oh yeah, that's right. And didn't some fan did like a deep fake treatment that was better? And
I
then,
know he went to ILM.
Oh, that's right. He
they-
works there now.
They hired him because
Yeah.
he basically just used stuff that's like off the rack, like it's free, it's available on the internet, and they were like, oh, it turns out don't use all this old tech that you have. Anyway, so Afterlife, good, and you're making props from it, Bill.
That's right. And I have a great recommendation related to that movie.
Oh, let's do it.
What's that?
So my friend Ben Eady, I'm dropping a video in the old chat there. He's got a YouTube channel, and he worked on the movie. He was in charge of a handful of the props, including the RTV, which is the remote trap vehicle. Yes, they put a ghost trap on an RC truck, which makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
During production, Ben was in charge of driving it, and he was also responsible for accidentally destroying it.
Oh my gosh.
They got the shots they wanted, but now he had this destroyed prop from the movie, so he did a little video series on his YouTube channel where he rebuilds the whole thing.
Oh, that's great. That's very cool.
Right?
Yeah. How well, I don't want to know, I guess. I want to know how they destroyed it, but I guess he gets into that. I'll watch it later. I don't want to spoil it. But my guess is he ran it into the car or some shit like that.
That's probably what happened.
That's probably what happened. All right. Well, thanks for the reminder to watch that movie. I don't know why I haven't yet. Well, I do know why. I don't want to go to theaters because my theaters suck now. I'll get it now that it's on some streaming thing, wherever it is. Bill, as always, the pleasure is ours, and I'm really glad that it was a Tuesday so you could hang out with guest host Justin Robert Young today.
Darn straight.
Yeah, it was
It's
nice.
like a dream, Bill, hearing your melodic voice again. I mean, I guess I could call you and we could actually just be friends offline.
That's true.
It's so sweeter when it happens online.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't count unless hundreds of people are listening.
It doesn't count unless it's content.
That's right. I'm glad we could facilitate this coupling, this coitus of words, really, that we're having.
One
Bill,
of the two men brought in to fill my hole.
That's right. Bill, have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time. All right. He's out of here. All right, now the other guy that fills your hole.
It's a lot funnier when you're on the show and you hang up on guests.
Oh, it's great.
It's a lot funnier when you're watching how abrupt the guests are shoved off the show.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone I've ever said this or not or made this clear. I do this to everyone in all my life. So if I call my mom and I'm on the phone with her and we get toward the end and I sense the end coming, I'm done. Like I'm out. So it was never, some people take it personally. It's just the way I am.
You know who apparently also was a big thing with that is Harry Reid, the now recently deceased senator from Nevada.
Oh, really?
He apparently was famous for hanging up on people, including the president of the United States.
That's fantastic. See, I feel that. I feel like Harry Reid and I would have gotten along, maybe barely. Maybe on that one point we would have. I don't know. Actually, I don't have anything bad or good to say about Harry Reid.
He was Mormon.
Oh, was he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you know the deal. Then I have to like him if he was a Mormon guy.
I don't know. I don't know what the handbook says for the Mormon. I don't know what the Wikipedia says on meeting the fellow Mormon.
It says nothing like that. Also, but I really didn't know that. That's interesting. I do like to make a big deal out of.
I think he might have converted too.
Oh, all right. Well, there's lots of those. So
yeah,
possible. Hey, look who it is. Oh, we got to play this. Hold on. We got a little intro for him.
Science.
They won't can my account for playing that. It's Bobby Frankenberger, our science correspondent, comes on Tuesdays, talks about cool science stuff going on in the world. Bobby, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? How are you, Justin?
What's up, Bobby?
Yeah.
It's nice to talk to you.
Have you voice to voice with Justin since he battered you and others on ANTP? Did that?
You do know I'm a producer on that show now, right?
Yeah. Oh, right. Because you have to do stuff now where, yeah, of course you have. Duh. No, I'm not thinking.
I also have talked to you since then in that show.
We're talking now. Can you believe it? This is insane. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
The magic of the internet. Well, it's great to have you here. I have no idea. Well, I guess you kind of did hint as to what we're going to talk about today, but I'll let you introduce it. What are we doing?
Well, I thought it was time to talk about COVID again.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, there's the CDC just changed they updated their framework and changed their guidelines on masking stuff, and so I figured whenever that kind of thing happens and a lot of people might start hearing like state and local governments changing their guidelines, their local mask mandates. And I know that, for example, our school district here for my kids, they sent out a big email saying nobody has to wear masks anymore. And so people are wondering why the sudden change and is it a good idea? Is there anything science to back it up? And so that seems like the right time to bring up.
Yeah, I'd be curious about it. We were talking earlier.
Just to give you some undertone there politically, there was a meeting of governors in South Florida over the last week, and what was underlined there is something that we have heard reported and outright stated by a lot of governors, and specifically blue state governors, that they were desperate for the federal government to give them some kind of guidance on relaxing COVID measures. Masking is probably the most controversial of them, but that is something that now is happening. Happens to be happening the same day as the State of the Union. But I would presume that during Biden's speech tonight, we will probably hear some kind of reframing that allows these governors to make moves so they don't feel like they are running ahead of federal guidance in the way that some of the red state governors have kind of made a meal out of and made their identity.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of people are wondering, what's this? Is there even science behind it, or is this just political?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there is some science behind it. In fact, a lot of people who've been following this and listening to the experts have really probably seen this coming for at least a couple of weeks now. I mean, the CDC just a week or two ago was talking about wanting to make a move like this. I'm not really sure why they talked about it that way. Like, do they? Maybe you know more than I do, Justin. Are they in the practice of often just talking about? We're just thinking about making some changes, because that's kind of how it sounded.
Oh, the CDC is not a good organization for this stuff. Like, they're not built for it. They don't do it well. And by this stuff, I mean in the moment guidance. The CDC is an amazing detective historian agency that can go back and analyze things and then tell us a full story after things have passed.
Yep.
What we've seen both with the CDC and the FDA to a certain extent is that the process of government, they are not built for this, even if you're going to be the most kind as you possibly can to them. So tie that up with the fact that there is gigantic political pressures on them from various different places, and you get kind of what we've gotten. Basically, it makes a lot more sense when you think of it like that.
Yeah, so the politics are inseparable with decisions that are made like this, but there is, if in case people are worried, there is a reason to believe that it might be time to start reassessing how we do mask mandates, or not how we do them, but when we relax or not. So first thing to note is that the CDC isn't making any recommendations that you shouldn't be wearing masks or that you shouldn't get vaccinated or anything like that. Basically, this change is not so much about what they think you should be doing, but more like they're changing the methods by which they determine what the risk level is. Because whether you should be wearing a mask or not, is, you're probably familiar with this, is determined by the risk level on a county level. You can go to the CDC website and look at that map, and it's got, you're either red, yellow, or green, and if it's red, you should be wearing a mask, and if it's yellow or green, then there's less of a reason to. And they've changed the way that they calculate what your risk level is on a county level. Before, it was mostly about case numbers, which makes sense. They were just looking at how many cases of COVID are going around in our area, and so if it's high, then it's a high risk area. If it's not, then it's a low risk area. But they're now focusing less on case numbers and more on COVID severity and hospitalization or hospital capacity, right? So the focus is more about how severe are these, and can hospitals handle the severe cases in your area? And if they can, and if the hospitals are fine, it's a lower risk area, and if the case numbers are, it's just less about the case numbers is the point.
I mean, they still play a factor, though, right? They still, they
can't do. Yeah. But one of the reasons, so yeah, there's, when you look at how they're making these determinations, there's sort of like a filter that it goes through, and if the case numbers are high enough, like I think, it's always about 7-day average. What are the daily case rates over the past 7 days on average? Mm-hmm. And if it's over 200, then it can't, for example, if it's over 200 in your county, the average, then you cannot be considered low risk. But if it's under 200, then they consider, basically after they consider that step, then they look at hospitalization or hospital capacity and severity of the cases that they are seeing. The reason they can't look at case numbers, by the way, is because we don't have reliable data, official data on that anymore, because of how everybody's got home tests. So with everybody taking tests in their home, the government can't track that as well. Before, I think
also Omicron changed the math on it.
Yes,
where Omicron was so contagious, but markedly less deadly, that if you were only going on case counts, then Omicron was by far the worst wave that we have ever seen. And that was, like you mentioned, with there being a gigantic glut of at-home tests, which means that we were likely undercounting the cases, possibly by like a factor of 2 or 3.
Yeah, we're almost certainly undercounting them. Yeah, and if you went to just a couple of weeks ago, before they made these changes, if you went to the CDC website and looked at that map, the whole country was red.
Yeah, I remember that.
And yet, it was the least deadly of the waves.
Right.
Like, by the number of people affected, and even by the raw numbers, it came in under the amount of dead through the Delta wave, which less people got, but more people died from. So that's part of it. And I think also politically, to go back to some of those pressures, there is, and also scientifically, there is a question of, are we in a zero COVID goal or are we in an endemic COVID goal? And if we are in a zero COVID goal, then if there is COVID around, everybody should not leave their house. If we are in a endemic COVID goal, and we understand that even if we were to eradicate it from America tomorrow, that somebody would come in from some other place and they would bring it and we would start the process all over again, then the question is, when is it best to heighten restrictions as opposed to keeping them on indefinitely?
Right. And no serious, and we're at the stage where epidemiologists are all agree that this is, we're leaving the pandemic phase and we're going into an endemic phase. And so that's exactly the right way to look at it. If the whole country's red on that map and people aren't, like you said, the severity is really low, then that's not a useful map. You have to come up with a new way to think about it and to assess risk, because it's just not useful to just say the whole country stay inside, even though it's not, it's not as bad as it's been in the past.
Right. That's the hard part to me, is like all of this, like figuring it out and going, we can't base it on this data alone, or we have to have a more nuanced approach to hospitalization versus case number, blah, blah, blah. Like all that stuff makes sense to me as they refine their ability to understand it, report it, whatever. The hard part remains, how do you now connect to the public on this and not just look like you don't know what you're doing? Even though I don't perceive this as them not knowing what they're doing. They may not be great at it, but there are plenty of scientists and smart people and statisticians and people understand this shit that are working on this. But your ability to let my neighbor who already doesn't trust you, why it's just up and down with mask requirements, he's just not going to buy it. Like, that's, to me, the biggest wall is still there, which is communication and how to, like, not just gain trust.
I mean, I think they're doing the best that they can with that. Honestly, what can you do now? Like, you can't talk about anything anymore without 8 different takes all fighting against each other. Like, it's, I don't feel like there is a way to win that contest.
Well, I mean, I think look, they're doing the best they can, but they are not immune from being a political organization.
Well, for sure,
right? There is certain voices that are going to say certain things, and ultimately everybody serves at the pleasure of the president, whether they be on the team that you root for or the other one. So, the reality of mandates from a governmental perspective is different from that of the CDC. The CDC can say, from our, seat in DC, this is what it should be.
Right.
That then goes to enforcement on the local level, and I think there is a real question, for as much as we want to believe that everybody's a sim in Sim City, and we can just say mask mandate, and then everybody puts on their mask mandate off, and then everybody takes it off, is that you only have as much. These mitigation measures are only as good as they are applied by the people voluntarily.
Yeah.
And if we are moving into an endemic phase where locally the point is, hey, when we're in a wave, let's use these mitigation factors. When we're not, we're going to give you guys, quote unquote, the ability not to do it. I think that builds up the reservoir for people to say, okay, let's take the mitigation factors, in the same way that, we people of most stripes, we're okay with 2 weeks to stop the spread, even though it was an unprecedented kind of change to our lives.
Right.
The reservoir was full. Now, oh boy, we are in very dicey territory for some people.
Yeah.
But I think that ultimately, we have to, part of the equation has to be whether, like you said, Justin, whether people are going to take these mandates seriously when we do need them. And so they're thinking about that. And
yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, when will they be more willing to obey them if they never go away?
Yeah.
Or if when things are low and when risk is lower, you are not putting them in, and so now they feel they feel special, or they feel there's a reason, there's a justification. You can show the numbers to say, all right, guys, here's where we're at. Please, take care of your neighbor and do this, as opposed to like, well, there's a mask mandate forever. And
Right.
that's the other element of it, is that if they become unpopular, the politicians aren't going to want to do it, because
that's the other thing. Yeah, they'll just not say anything or won't do whatever their advantageous angle is to take. They'll take it, and so we can't
also,
count
look,
on.
unless you're arresting people for not wearing masks, then like these are statements, right?
Right.
These are affirmational statements. They are a thing that a teacher writes on the blackboard. It's not like you're not getting arrested for not wearing a mask. You're not
Right.
getting a fine for not wearing a mask.
Right. You may get kicked out of a I don't know, a Chipotle, but that's Chipotle, not your government. So yeah, like
Even if there's not a mask mandate, the Chipotle can say, please wear a mask, and then hand you a mask if you ain't got
yeah,
one.
they can do whatever they want. They can say, I don't like your shirt, get out. That's fine. And you want to go fight that in the courts, go ahead, I guess. But
Well,
yeah,
and that'll be the last time that I wear my F Chipotle t-shirt.
Yeah, I wondered about that. So interesting. So, but good news from all this. My take is, and I could be wrong. So Bobby, tell me if I'm up in the night here. But it just seems like maybe we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, even if there's some endemic aspects to things. We're not hearing about massive new variants or crazy new outbreaks or anything. I mean, maybe we're heading down a good space finally. I don't know. Can I take that from this?
Yeah, I think certainly we are, and things are getting better. All the experts keep saying, like, I keep hearing people say that we're looking to have a spring break this year. Not that we stopped having spring breaks, but you know what I mean. Things are getting better. Over 200 million people in the U.S. have gotten the main course of vaccine. Over 100 million have been boosted, and then the rest got COVID because they didn't. So there's immunity, quote unquote, is we have a high level of the population that are now resistant in some way to the virus, and that's a good thing. We're moving out of the pandemic phase, and it's likely that this is the last major surge that we'll see of this for hopefully for quite a while. This is not the only endemic virus that exists. So it's not like it going endemic is not like it's not like hopeless. That's not what that means. That means we're out of the pandemic phase. We're now able to deal with this,
Yeah, no, it's progress. It's like we've been able to do with a whole lot of things. Some things get eradicated, but in a lot of cases stuff stays forever, and you get flu shots for a reason, and I'm fine with that phase if we were truly there. It's just when they start going, the bastard variant's coming and it goes through your butthole and now we're all dead. Like, I just don't want any more news like that. I just want this to chill out. Like, the happiest I've been all year was when I heard the news that, and maybe we talked about it with you, Bobby, I don't remember, but that whole conversation around some new variant they were calling Deltacron, because they found that the Delta variant and the Omicron variant had merged somehow into a new super virus, and turns out it was just screwed up charts or something. It never existed. It was a great day. I think I went and got a milkshake or something to celebrate. I was stoked. I was like, yeah, dude, that was bullshit.
You were stoked that it was not the truth.
That it was not the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That there was not yet another terrible wave.
Yeah.
We've seen that also. As soon as there's a wave, there's the news story is primed for and guess what? There's another one.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled, another one.
Another one. Yeah, have him do it every time. He's perfectly
DJ Khaled for the CDC. That's what I'm saying. I know Rochelle Walensky is good, but Khaled,
great. Right? Great.
They don't want me to be CDC director, so we gotta be CDC director. Another one.
That's a pretty good DJ Khaled. I'm impressed with your
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, you do a good impression.
Major key policy points. Major key.
Major key. Very good. Well, all right.
There's a map on the CDC website. You can go there, and if your county is red, you probably need to be wearing a mask. This is the high level what it means. If it's red, wear a mask. If it's yellow or green, you can probably just not wear a mask unless you're on very close quarters, like public transportation or something like that.
Yeah.
Yellow means that if you're a high risk individual or if you're close to someone who's high risk, then you need to still be careful.
Yeah.
But
just do like me. Have a mask in your pocket and just have it ready and just have it. It's fine. You know.
That's what I do.
Yeah, do that. And if you walk into a place where they need a mask, then you got one and it's fine and it's not that inconvenient. You're fine. You could be Ukrainian right now. Just be fine with your mask. Look at me.
Yellow, let it mellow.
Yeah, if it's brown, flush it down. Yeah.
Well,
right.
There's not a brown one, Scott. That's not. Let's not be spreading medical misinformation on the.
Yeah.
Well, they did start.
You're getting into real Rogan territory.
Yeah,
here,
yeah. I don't want to go there. I get.
They did
canceled.
start testing wastewater for COVID, so maybe there will be a brown one.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about that was a whole subject last time you were on, or a couple times ago. Well, Bobby, it's always a pleasure, as my dad would say on the frequent, and we're always glad to have you here. Tell people where they can find All Around Science and why they should this week.
You can find All Around Science. I don't have to tell you where to find it. You're listening to a podcast. You know how to find podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's called All Around Science. We just talked about, actually, this episode that came out yesterday, we talked about more about what we talked about on this show last week, which is the whole idea of how words and language can literally, cognitively change the way you are able to think about things, and about colors, your ability to see certain colors and stuff like that. We talked about that, and it was a great conversation. We talked about social justice and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, very nice. So. Yeah, it's a great show, you guys. You should check it out. Bobby doing great work over there, All Around Science, wherever you get podcasts. Bobby,
good to talk to you, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. Good to see you, man.
Always good to see you. We'll see you soon on, you'll be in a bit of the background, but, the new ANTP season coming up in like a week.
Looking forward to it.
Is that like next week?
Yeah.
A week from yesterday.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm going to be on the road.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. No, that's some of your best work, Justin. You're out in the middle of a thing.
You're not buying any houses, are you?
Yeah, we'll not be buying a house and moving out of a house and moving cross country, which was why I was very mean last season.
That was insane. I can't believe you pulled that off and didn't just say, "Hey, I need a buy," and let somebody
also
step
didn't
in.
miss an episode. Everybody else, all the other judges missing episodes. Not your old boy Jerbs.
That's true. I'm
just taking every opportunity to take my frustrations out on poor contestants of the show.
The contestants may have hated you, but the production staff loved you for it.
That's right. You made
harsh criticism.
It's all content. We'll see you later, Bobby. All right, there goes Bobby. Oh, I got rid of Justin. Shit. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Hold on. Wrong guy. Kicked out the wrong guy. That was a goof. Hold on. Recall. There you are. Hello.
Itchy on the trigger finger, huh?
Yep. I got. You know what it was? For serious. It's your name on there, and my muscle memory is when you hang up, you hang up on Justin's name because that's
hang up on the Jerbs.
Yeah,
that's what.
Because he's there.
See how they treat me.
And yet,
see how they treat me.
Yeah, I know. Look,
all I can do is think as DJ Khaled. They don't want me to be on the show, so I gotta be on the whole show.
They hung up on me another time. They hung up another one.
Another guest.
It's good stuff. By the way, so before we go today, why don't you tell us again? Speaking of all the things you're busy with, Dog and Pony Show productions, of course. World's Greatest Con, all this stuff coming up fresh and hot and new and slapping. So tell everybody where to get it and what's going on.
First and foremost, if you guys aren't aware, Dog and Pony Show Productions is my production company. We've done a couple really, really cool things, including Raise the Dead, which I know a lot of you guys are aware of, which is my podcast. And then Brian Brushwood and I work on this podcast called The World's Greatest Con. It is, on its face, a thrilling retelling of some of the most audacious and mind-bending scams and cons in history. But in reality, it is an examination of why we fall for these kinds of things. What in our brain is triggered by these scams and cons, because invariably all of them are running along a lot of the same playbooks. They are there to exploit things that are inside of a brain. It's the reason why the tagline of the show is that cons don't fool us because we're stupid. They fool us because we're human. In this season, we take a look at the glitzy world of television game shows. Our first episode is already out following the scandals that almost killed the entire industry, those around the fixing of the show 21. But I'm very proud of this season. I would love it if you guys would give it a chance. The first season was all about World War II. If that ain't your scene, then these are 5 separate episodes, not one long story. 5 separate stories, all covering a different thing, all complete stories. I think you guys are going to really dig it. Head on over there, World's Greatest Con, wherever you find your podcast, but specifically Apple, because I'm trying to pass Cocaine and Rhinestones on the chart.
That'd be amazing. Passing your favorite show that you listen to.
Which is great, right? Doesn't that feel the best?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I could see why that would be a goal. And we can get them. We can get them there. That's what we do best, everybody. So pile in there, and even if you don't use Apple stuff, find some way to get in there and do it.
It all counts. Subscribe wherever you can get. Thank you to everybody who already has. By the way, this premiere launched bigger than any in a 24-hour window than anything in the first season. That shows growth. That's great because now we have advertisers.
Yeah,
so we need to keep the man happy.
Yeah, keep the man happy.
Also, ad-free episodes, patreon.com/greatestcon.
Oh, very that's a good point. All right. Very, very nice. Quick reminder, folks at home, if you like this show and what's going on here, even on a week where we don't have Brian, support us at our Patreon, patreon.com/TMS. If you haven't yet, get in there. You get bonus content every day, including today. If you're listening to this going, oh, wait, there's extra stuff with Jury? Yeah, we talked at the top of the show. We'll have a little more at the bottom. And that comes to you every day on the feed if you're a patron at any level. You could be in for $1 a month. And since we're such suckers here, we got conned, really, by our stupidity when we set this thing up way back in 2014. So come take advantage of us and get in there. We'd love you. Patreon.com/TMS. Thanks to everybody who already is. For everything else, it's frogpants.com/TMS. And send us your emails. Love your feedback. themorningstream@gmail.com. All right, man. I think that's going to do it. I'm going to leave us with another song. And, yeah, I'm going to just double dip today. It's the Aces again. Utah's on the Aces. I love these guys. I can't help it. They have another song on that album, Under My Influence, called I Can Break Your Heart Too. It's a little sappy, but it does it for me. And there's something about, I don't know, it's got a good groove. I think you guys will like it, so check that out. Again, that's I Can Break Your Heart Too. Under My Influence is the album. It's the Aces. Justin, thanks for being here, man.
Oh, man, it was a pleasure being back home here on TMS. Thank you to everybody, and I will be back. I'll be back sometime. If you hope, fingers crossed hard enough, maybe the old gerbs will be back again, and now I just disappear in a very crappy 70s crossfade, like by an angel.
You never know. Maybe we may see him in Vegas, we hope. I'm not sure. Oh, I hear a little boy.
Oh, no, yeah, you will. Yeah, you'll see me in Vegas.
Hold on, we got a brief appearance by a 2-year-old or 3-year-old. Come here, buddy. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Can you say hi, Justin?
Hi, Justin.
Okay, here you go.
What's up?
Go up back with Nana. Hold on.
I think it's pretty rad that we have the same haircut.
I know, right? He has your hair. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, we have the same. This is he's got a good look. He's a fashionable kid.
He's high fashion, low maintenance. Even his diapers are easy. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Methinks you care little for your sister when I think on the time you have taken to return here.
Yeah.
Right here, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Oh yeah, you go take a whatever you do. I didn't know he was here today. That's awesome. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Is his mom in the shoot? The birth shoot? Oh, okay. Bye. I'm gonna come upstairs. You want me to come upstairs? Yeah, I'll come up. You want to play Dino Game? Yeah. Okay. I'll come up and play Dino Game, okay? I'll see you soon. Okay. He's so cute. I can barely stand it. All right. Justin's got to pee. And while he pees, we will prepare for titles. Actually, you know what I should do? He doesn't have access to this as a login, so I'm just gonna choose a bunch and then he'll read them with me. How about that? Man, you guys really lost your minds about that uncombable and not uncomfortable. That was my fault. Copy freeze. Here we go. So we're going to do that one. We're going to do the jury has not retired. Dingle Dop, fungible.
So
yeah.
My wife got me a birthday present.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get? Wait, when's your birthday? Did I miss it?
No, it's coming up.
Okay, shit.
My it's a foosball table.
Oh, what? We have one of those. I love those.
I'll show it to you. Hold on.
Yeah. Can you? Oh, look at this. We're moving. For a second, I thought that was a Confederate flag back there, and I about lost it. This whole time, Justin's been. Oh man, those are great. Did you have to assemble it, or did it come done? Oh, sorry, you don't have a mic. Sorry.
Here we go. No, in fact, Amazon assembled it.
Oh, no way. And sent
Amazon
it like that?
Sent dudes that assembled it.
They're dudes? That's cool. Dudes came.
Yeah. In fact, they did it while I was streaming.
Really?
So, yeah, they had to, like, they were there. Like, it was like a live audience for me while I was streaming last Friday. And thankfully, they thought it was funny.
That's pretty great. That's really great.
I tipped them extra for springing a live stream on them.
That's really great. I love a good game of I almost said shuffleboard.
I'm like semi-professional at it.
Are you?
Like I kick a lot of ass.
Teammates or no teammates? How do you feel about that? Going solo, prefer that, or do you want to have someone next to you? How do you do it?
I mean I really like just hanging out and playing foosball. So if it's doubles, then I'm totally cool with it.
All right, you're in.
But mostly I will play defense because I'm good enough that I can score about as much on defense and also prevent the other team from scoring.
Yeah.
But no, there was in college, there was a friend of mine who was from New England, and their family had a foosball table, and then she brought the foosball table to her apartment that she was renting, and she was like lethal.
Yeah.
The family just played constantly from when they were like children.
Really?
And so they all just like absolute pros, had tricks and strategies and stuff like that.
Wow.
And she was also cute, so everybody wanted to play foosball, and then she would just obliterate everybody. But it meant that everybody got really good because we played against her constantly. And so yeah, I've gotten good enough that if I'm really trying, I can just destroy everybody. But that's the problem, is that now I gotta get a little foosball community going here.
Oh yeah.
So people will actually play me,
I could see
as opposed
that.
to just having it be like doing me a favor by standing on the table while I just obliterate them because I'm so excited to play again.
Yeah, that's great. All right, I've almost got it's perfect timing all that discussion because I almost got our titles ready. You remember this, right? We'll read back and forth. You're cool with that?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Well, I don't know if I've been here at the end in a while.
Oh, it's been a while. It's easy. Up in the dock, you'll see spaced things that the chat room has submitted. And yes, chat, I know it's uncombable and not uncomfortable hair. I screwed that up. It's not called uncomfortable hair syndrome, Justin. It's uncombable
really?
hair. Yeah, uncombable hair syndrome. So you can't comb it, I guess.
Where am I?
Oh, do you see it in the dock?
Up top.
Up
Okay,
top,
gotcha.
yeah, sorry. So I just need to add the main title. Hold on 1 second here. I'm going to use Growing in the Mullet Region is going to be our title.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. So how this will work is I'll do a little countdown, then I'll start with uncombable, not uncomfortable, and then you'll read the jury is not retired, and then I'll read Dingle, and all the way to the bottom. I don't know if this makes it. Let's see, Justin. Perfect, because it'll end the way we want. All right.
Oh, this is the intro that we're tagging on the front.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do this now. I got to fade that out. I got to end this.